Coming into the space of infinite awareness, the depth of our existence, the depth of presence, can be practically put in the sense of when we are looking at the present moment, when we are looking at the existence in which we have right here and right now, can we actually grab it? Is there something we can hold on to? Is there something that we can define or explain or say that this is the present and the other thing is not the present? It's quite difficult to even come into the mental assumption or mental analysis of something of this nature, this type of topic, because it is the element of infinity we're looking to explain. It is the element of the paradox of all paradoxes, the everything and nothing, the alpha and omega, the ones and zero, and realizing that it cannot be explained, it cannot be discussed, it can only be fully experienced. Just like any time we've experienced a heightened state of awareness, a heightened state of bliss in the body, or a feeling of peace, or maybe an amazing conversation, or us involved in a sporting activity, or something in nature, or in a creative adventure, painting a painting, or in music. These experiences have brought us into that infinite space in which we cannot explain, we cannot analyze. The logical mind completely gets dissipated in this reality, in this existence. And this is the space we constantly want to bring ourselves back to, but many times we bring ourselves back to this space in realms of logic, or realms of material pleasures, or realms of just the five senses, in which ultimately have some sort of formula. If I eat this way, it will make me feel like this. If I have this type of sex, it will make me feel like this. If I achieve this goal, it will make me feel like this. A very logical approach to something in which is completely infinite, something that cannot be explained. And so the space of infinite awareness is one that is not far-reaching. It is not hard to grasp. It is not something that is fleeting and flowing away from us. It is always coming to us. It is always available to us in our ability just to see it, in our ability to pause for a moment, take a breath, sink into that space of presence in which pervades. Of course, when we're zoned in on something, zoned in and keeping our focus, it seems like we're only experiencing that realm of focus. It is the same in a coffee shop. When we're in a coffee shop talking to someone amongst the hustle and bustle and the sounds and the sensory, we are still fully able to hear the person, to experience them, and zone right into them. And then if we were to take our awareness out of that, all of a sudden the other conversation starts to come in, the other sounds, the other things that are distracting us come into that space, because the awareness now has just been broadened. And there's a time and place for all things, but ultimately we must always be in that space of ever expanding our awareness, knowing that there is so much more to life than meets the eye. There's so much more to life that may be just in front of us that we're not fully seeing. There's so much more to life in which is existing in a space that is right in front of you, right in front of our reality, right in our reality, and it's simply our duty to surrender and accept that this is the fact. Now, when we get into the idea of recognizing that in this space of infinite awareness and presence, our everyday becomes more and more an experience in which we are consciously creating. Because awareness is just conscious. It's us being more conscious, aware, awake to something, to reality, to existence, to life. So bringing awareness through the process of our everyday, recognizing our thoughts, recognizing our emotions, recognizing the things in which are causing us suffering, recognizing the things in which are pulling us into that space of alignment, into that space of bliss in the body. As we recognize these things, we begin to know them. And as we begin to know them, we begin to align ourselves with those knowings, those truths. It's very rare that we repeat mistakes in which we are fully aware of. And of course, we must say, well, of course we repeat mistakes. I'm always repeating the same mistakes. Well, it's because you're not fully in the space of awareness of this specific mistake. And as you come into that awareness, you're willing to take action that is bringing you into the alignment of recognizing this mistake is no longer necessary. A mistake is simply a lesson, and a lesson is only needed until one is done learning. And as they are done learning this specific lesson, they can move on. Yes, at times we will come back to those lessons, we will come back to those mistakes, but it is only in us maybe not fully sinking into them that is causing that. So in our everyday, in our experience of the hustle and bustle of life, in the modern world, we must recognize that firstly, stepping into the surrender of awareness will of course change our perception of this perceived society, this perceived daily routine, this perceived purpose in which maybe you thought was the truth for you, but maybe will be transitioning into something different. And that is extremely eye-opening for many who tread down this path, and ultimately all who must tread down this path, to recognize the only duty and the highest duty is to find our inner truth, our inner presence, our inner awareness, and through that we will step into life itself. So I want to make a quick shout out actually at the end of this video to Vanessa, who has been such a great supporter in this community, and she had asked to do a video on this specific topic for her website and her movement, and I'm really here to support her and the community that's involved there as much as she has been doing for myself, for the Lifestyle Center up here and the Awaken Your Potential campaign. So we're tuning out. Make sure you're subscribing, you're liking, you're commenting, and you're so connected with this community and this group because it's a powerful one and it is much needed in our times of transition and change.